Now there are some basic rules of a networking diagram, right? The given title, that is rules in network diagram. Network diagram. There are some rules while we are constructing a network diagram. Number one, number one, arrow represents arrow represents activity. Arrow represent activities, and circle and circle represent the event. Circle represent the event. Here, what is the arrow? Arrow means it's an activity. Arrow means what? It's an activity. And what do you mean by circle? It's an event. In last lecture, I also explained this concept, right? Now, in the definition of that, the length of an arrow, the length of the length of an arrow is of no significance. Is of no significance. What it means that? It means that if we draw any particular activity, for example A and 1 and 2, the length of these activities do not have any significance, right? Means it can be like this, it can be like this. There is no any issue with the length, right? Number two, each activity, each activity should be represented by should be represented by only one arrow, only one arrow, and must start and end, and must start and end in a circle, in a circle called called event, called event. Means what? Every activity must have a starting and ending point, right? Now third one, the event number one denotes one one denotes start of the project, start of the project, and it is it is initial event of the project. It is the initial event of the project. And later on you have to increase it in the ascending order. So we cannot say what will be the last event after constructing a network diagram. You can say that what is the last number of your project diagram, right? Next, generally you have to number the event in ascending order. In ascending order. Here, these are the basic rules you have to follow. Sequence and the representations of and the network diagram, then arrows should be very proper, right? The next important concept that sometimes the errors are occurs in the network diagram. So therefore, which types of errors occurs in the network diagram? The given heading that is called as in errors. Errors occurs in network diagram. In network diagram. Errors occur in the network diagram. The first error, right? Number one. That is called as a looping and dangling. Looping, first one is called as a looping, looping and dangling. Now what do you mean by looping? Looping not allowed in the network diagram means sometimes suppose your activities start like this. Suppose this is the one, right? This is an activity event two. I can say it's an activity A. For example, suppose there is an activity B. I will remain it as named as an 3. And if I say that there is an one activity, we can say C from 2 to 3. And again, we are representing like this 3 to 1. This concept is called as a loop. This concept is called as a loop. In network diagram, it will be in a infinity like this. We learned in the data structures also in the Puskals algorithms and Bright algorithm. Means you have to construct the spanning tree like this. There should not be a loop form. And same thing is that here in the network diagram, the looping is not allowed, right? This is not allowed in the networking diagram. What do you mean by dangling? Next one. Dangling is that it means your diagram should not be opened. Your project should not be opened, right? Means for example, suppose this is a number one activity, right? A activity, and suppose there is an again B activity is there, right? And for example, again I mentioned here B activity, and somewhere I represent the C activity here like this, and my network diagram is like this. This is not allowed in the project. But it means that this outlet of the project will not be two. Somewhere, if you have to construct the diagram in such a way that there should be a one initial event and that project consists of another one end event, right? Many times you have to construct this diagram like this 1, 2, 3, for example, 4 and 5, and maybe you have to connect this one like this. Then it becomes valid. Otherwise, it's not valid. That dangling is what? There should not be a two, three outlets of the project diagram, project network diagram. Here, it's okay. Now it's okay. But we cannot open the two outlets. Right? This is a second important error can be occurred. And if such type of error is occurred, then you have to connect that diagram with an W. You know that W do not consist of an area of resource and even do not consider as a time. Therefore, what will be the answer of my any algorithms getting an CPM that does not affect on my output, right? These two errors can be occurs. Next one, next important error we will see. Next one is the next error is parallel activity not allowed. Next one, parallel activity not allowed. Parallel activity not allowed. Yesterday I told you that parallel activity is what? Right? For example, this is an event 1 and suppose this is an event number 2. I cannot represent any activity like this. This is an A activity and this is an B activity. I cannot represent. Even though we learn in a spanning tree, in a prime and clusters algorithm, self group is not allowed. Some like this here, parallel activities is not allowed. If you want to represent any two parallel activities, so what you have to do then? You have to use an dummy variable. You have to use a dummy variable. How? Means what it means that after completing these activities, next activity is going to be performed. Suppose next activity is, for example, here as A, B, and C, for example, right? So now here, this will treated as an error in the network diagram, but I have to use it. How I have to represent this diagram? Yesterday I told you that here you have to represent the first one is called as an activity A, right? This is an activity A. Then activity B means after completing an activity A and B, C is going to be starting. So here, then I have to draw the another activity. I will say it as a B. After that, what is my activities? Last activity is my C activity. So I will be named like this, and then you have to put the big to show the activity. C activity. But it means that this represents a not alone. Instead of this, you have to use this one. Means what it implies is that the C activities A and B are the predecessors of an C. And we can say that C is the successor of A and what it represents? It represents that the A and B are the predecessors of C, whereas C is the successor of activity A and B. Means after completing these two activities, activity A and B, the C will be performed.